The Diamond Necklace, La Parure, by Guy de Maupassant, first published 1884. Translation by Albert M. C. McMaster, A. E. Henderson, Madame Quesada, and others. Project Gutenberg. The girl was one of those pretty and charming young creatures who sometimes are born, as if by a slip of fate, into a family of clerks. She had no dowry, no expectations, no way of being known, understood, loved, married by any rich and distinguished man. So she let herself be married to a little clerk of the Ministry of Public Instruction. Guy de Maupassant published this story in a French newspaper in 1884, and it's built around one of the sharpest twist endings in short fiction. Sharper, honestly, than the one in The Gift of the Magi, because this one isn't kind. This is The Necklace, and it's a masterclass in situational irony. Remember from episode 1, that's when the actual outcome is the opposite of what the setup leads you to expect. Notice what Maupassant does in that opening line. He tells you up front that Mathilde was born into the wrong life as if by a slip of fate. That's not neutral narration. That's the story's whole argument stated before anything's even happened. Everything that follows is really just that sentence playing itself out. She had no gowns, no jewels, nothing. And she loved nothing but that. She felt made for that. She would have liked so much to please, to be envied, to be charming, to be sought after. 3 wants stacked in a row. To please, to be envied, to be sought after. Not to love, not to be secure, not even really to be rich. She wants to be looked at. Keep that in mind, because the entire plot is about to be set in motion by exactly that desire, and nothing else. Suddenly she discovered, in a black satin box, a superb diamond necklace, and her heart throbbed with an immoderate desire. Her hands trembled as she took it. She fastened it round her throat, outside her high-necked waist, and was lost in ecstasy at her reflection in the mirror. Immoderate is worth having. It means excessive beyond reasonable limits, a desire with no brakes on it. Maupassant chose that word carefully. A moderate desire for a nice necklace is normal. An immoderate one is the kind that makes you stop thinking clearly. And that's exactly what's about to happen. She removed her wraps before the glass so as to see herself once more in all her glory. But suddenly she uttered a cry. She no longer had the necklace around her neck. Look at the pacing here compared to everything before it. Pages of slow, dreamy longing. And then this. 4 short sentences. One of them 4 words long. Maupassant does the exact same thing Poe did with the murder in the Telltale Heart. He saves his shortest sentences for the moment. Everything breaks. Because abrupt prose creates the feeling of shock better than any amount of description could. Loisel possessed 18,000 francs, which his father had left him. He would borrow the rest. He did borrow, asking 1,000 francs of one, 500 of another. 5 louis here, 3 louis there. He gave notes, took up ruinous obligations, dealt with usurers and all the race of lenders. Usurers means lenders who charge extreme, exploitative interest, and Maupassant lists them almost like a roll call of humiliation. 1,000 here, 500 there, 5 louis, 3 louis. That fragmented list is doing the same job the short sentences did a moment ago, showing you desperation through rhythm, not just through what's being said. Thereafter, Madame Loisel knew the horrible existence of the needy. She bore her part, however, with sudden heroism. That dreadful debt must be paid. She would pay it. They dismissed their servant. They changed their lodgings. They rented a garret under the roof. She washed the dishes, using her dainty fingers and rosy nails on greasy pots and pans. Dainty fingers and rosy nails, is the cruelest detail in the whole story, because it's a leftover description from the woman she used to be, now doing work that woman was never built for. 10 years of this is coming, and the entire reason for it is one moment of not admitting a mistake out loud. I brought you back another exactly like it, and it has taken us 10 years to pay for it. Madame Forestier, deeply moved, took her hands. Oh, my poor Mathilde. Why, my necklace was paste. It was worth at most only 500 francs. 10 years. 10 years of poverty, ruined hands, a ruined life, to replace a necklace that was never worth more than 500 francs to begin with. That's situational irony at full strength. Not a twist for its own sake, but a twist that reveals the entire 10 years were unnecessary from the very first night. 2 words from this one: immoderate and usurers. Next episode, we're heading to colonial India for Kipling's Rikki Tikki Tavi, a very different kind of story about courage instead of vanity. Subscribe so you don't miss it, and tell me in the comments, do you think Matilda would have told the truth if she'd known?